Proverbs 7. I'm going to read this to you. It's a story, but before I do, I'm going to tell you about it. It's a story about a young man who falls into temptation by a temptress woman, a harlot. She waits for him, like she sets him up. She waits for him. She tells him everything he wants to hear. Everything he wants to hear. She tricks him. Tells him, this, no one will ever find out. No, this is, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. And then her husband, she tells him her husband is gone and he won't be back home for a while. And then this young boy, he falls into this temptation. And he couldn't avoid her. She was on every street corner waiting for him, And he couldn't avoid her because she was setting him up. She was there at every direction he went to trick him. And little did he know that being tricked by her and falling into her temptation was going to cost him his life, his soul. He had no idea that for a few minutes of pleasure in his sin, that he was going to lose his life. She was a temptress. That's what she did. And she didn't do it just to him. She did it to many. She waited for young boys so that she could get them to fall into their sin. She is the harlot. She is the devil, basically. And she sets people up, especially young people who have no knowledge of the Bible. She waits for them in every corner, so that she can talk them into falling into sin, seduces them, tells them everything they want to hear, traps them into the seduction, traps them knowing that it's going to cost them their life, not caring. And they're caught. By the time they figure out what has happened, it's too late. This is what Proverbs 7 is about. So let me read it to you. My son, keep my words and treasures, my commands within you. Keep my commands and live, and my law as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your nearest kin, that they may keep you from the immoral woman, from the seductress who flatters with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my lattice, and I saw among the simple, I perceived among the youths a young man devoid of understanding. He didn't understand the Bible. He didn't know. Nobody told him. That's why it's important to tell your kids. Passing along the street near her corner, and he took the path to her house. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night, and there a woman met him with the attire of a harlot and a crafty heart. She was loud and rebellious. Her feet would not stay at home. At times she was outside, at times on the open square. Lurking at every corner, she was waiting for him. She was trying to set him up. So she caught him and kissed him with an impotent face. She said to him, I have peace offerings with me. Today I have paid my vows. So I came out to meet you, diligently to seek your face, and I have found you. I have spread my bed with tapestry-colored coverings of Egyptian linen. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. She's enticing him. Come, let us take our fill of love until morning. Let us delight ourselves with love. For my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey, and he has taken a bag of money with him, and will come home on the appointed time. With her enticing speech, she caused him to yield. With her flattering lips, she seduced him. Immediately he went after her as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. till an arrow struck his liver, as a bird hastens to the snare. He did not know it would cost his life. It's going to cost his life, his soul. Now therefore, listen to me, my children. It was too late for him. Pay attention to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her paths, for she has cast down many wounded, and all who were slain by her were strong men. They were all very strong men. But strength in your own self doesn't help you. That's why you have to have strength in God. Her house is the way to hell, descending to the chambers of death. This story explains how the devil entices you. It doesn't matter if it's a sexual sin. It doesn't matter what kind of sin it is. The devil entices you. But sexual sin is probably the biggest one. She entices you. This would probably be Ishtar. She is Baal, which is like Lucifer. He's one of Lucifer's highest ranking demons. And this is his wife, Ishtar. She is the sexual god, I guess, demon. She's a demon. I don't like to call them gods. They call themselves gods. I don't like to call them gods. They're not a god. She's a sexual demon. And she's where Jezebel comes from. And she entices so many people into sexual sins. All kinds of different sexual sins. It's her job to lure people out, especially people who have no understanding of the Bible, or have never heard it, or really don't know much about it, have no knowledge. It's easy for her to trap somebody who has no knowledge. Easy for her to lure them into her snares, because that's what it is. She's a huntress. She's out to trap people into sin. And she's on every street corner. She is everywhere. She's in street pharmaceutical houses. Let's put it that way. Trap houses. She is in the streets. She is in people's houses. She is in all the wrong places that they should not be going. In the bars, trap houses, gang houses, everywhere where it would be easy to find sexual sin. That's where she is. And she lures not just young men, but women too. She lures them into her traps. And they get caught up in this sin, and they're thinking, oh, this is so much fun, and it's all good and great, until it's too late. And then it's too late. They're addicted. They're addicted. They're trapped in this sin, and they don't see a way out. There's always a way out. They just don't know a way out because they've never known God. That's why it's so important for us believers to teach people about God, whether it be your children, which definitely you should teach your children, or somebody who just has never heard it, like someone who's caught in the traps of her snare. They don't know a way out. They don't see a way out. But there's always a way out. God is always there. Well, that's why it's so important we plant the seeds. Because if not, she traps them. And then pretty soon, they don't see a way out. No other way out than to lose their life. Either by suicide, or by passing away earlier of an overdose, or an alcohol abuse of overdose, or some kind of abuse, and they pass away earlier, never knowing God, never having figured out a way out of that trap. That's why it's so important we tell everybody. That's why it's so important that we especially tell our children so they don't fall into the traps of Ishtar or Baal or any other Lucifer demon. Anyway, have a blessed day.